Hi guys, my name is David Everla. I'm going to be telling you about myself. So to start off, I grew up in Colorado Springs mostly, which is a smallish town, like right south of Denver, about 45 minutes. I grew up with my grandparents really close to my house, which is really nice. And I grew up in a family of 6 in total. I had 3 other siblings, a sister and 2 brothers. A lot of it had to do with just my upbringing and just the fact that we had my grandparents so close. So I was technically raised a lot by my parents, but my grandparents were also a huge part of my in my upbringing. So they contributed a lot of their values and a lot of their moral sense of code. I guess to me as a young kid. As far as the culture goes, that I was brought up in, my dad was a huge fan of football, baseball, sports. And me being a guy, he was constantly wanting me to play sports. I played baseball all the way through middle school, and eventually stopped just because I didn't really enjoy it anymore. My other 2 brothers, however, my other brother plays track. He still plays track right now, and everyone is still playing baseball, and he's probably gonna be playing college ball here in about a year or so. I was okay at it, but my dad was always like pushing me to try out sports or play volleyball or play basketball because I was tall. But I didn't really fit into like any of those categories. The culture I grew up in was largely in the Springs was largely conservative culture. I grew up right next to an Air Force base, so a lot of military families were around. So really heavy conservative culture. Just like basic family values. Dad being the head of the household, and my mom really helping to raise to raise everyone else. As far as self-esteem goes, let's see. In middle school and high school, I suffered a lot of bullying issues. It didn't really affect me outwardly. I was still just like a normal person, but it really kind of impacted my self-esteem a little bit. It kind of lowered it, but that's gotten better. My mom has actually really been a big help with helping that. So she's really got me back on my feet. Especially in my work, I'm very self-conscious about the things that I produce as far as work goes. I'm a videographer, so anything I really put out, I don't really want people to see it. I'm very overly critical, but that's more something that maybe isn't that much of a big deal now, but it was back when I was a kid. It really impacted me and helped me understand that life isn't really that fair, and you kind of have to deal with what you're given. As far as responsibility goes, in my job, I'm very responsible. I will work overtime and not even get paid for it a lot of times. If a project's late, I've been self-dependent for a couple years. My parents really only helping out when I get in trouble or if I need some sort of break. So I'm pretty self-dependent. I get to work on time. I've worked probably 6-7 different jobs. I do freelance work, so I'm always out there looking for work. So I would say I'm pretty responsible. As far as communication goes, I'm a very introverted person. I spend a lot of time by myself, whether I'm working or just hanging out in my room, working on solo projects or hanging out with friends online. I'm a very introverted person, so I definitely recharge when I'm by myself or I'm listening to music, when I kind of tune the rest of the world out and I'm just by myself. But I am a very social person. I like meeting people and getting to know different people. I make a lot of friends pretty easily. I think I'm pretty agreeable and that people actually like to be around me. But I don't really like big party settings. I'm more like a kind of guy that wants to meet you one-on-one and just talk with you. My hobbies are my work, anything video related is a hobby of mine. I love digital design. I play a tad bit of video games online with my friends. I like hanging out with people, going to sporting events every now and then, like a baseball game or watching my brothers play baseball. And I love being around my family. And speaking of family, my relationships are, as far as family goes, are very strong. Both my parents are very strong relationships with. I still talk to them every day and ask them for advice on things that are happening in college. Hey, what should I do with this? Or, this happened, how should I approach it? And they're always really great about giving me feedback. It's pretty cool. But I'm glad that I was raised responsible. I was raised with a hardworking mentality, and I was raised by parents who didn't really shelter me and kind of forced me to deal with life as it came. So I think that definitely helped prepare me for college and my job. But that's a little bit story about me. So thank you for watching.